All right, this is number 32 on your semester final review. It says, Candace and John are building a Lego tower. It takes John 5 hours to build the tower, but when he works together with Candace, it only takes them 2 hours to build the same tower. And it asks, how long would it take Candace alone to build the tower? So we're going to start by just writing rates. For John, we'll have a rate. We'll have a rate for Candace. And then it says, when he works together with Candace, it gives a rate. So we're going to say, okay, this is John plus Candace, how fast they can do something together. And when you think about writing rates, just like the rate miles per hour, our time is going to go on the bottom, and whatever we're doing, in the case of miles per hour, we're driving, on top. So John is building a tower, and it takes him 5 hours. So we're going to put that time on the bottom. So it takes him 5 hours. And what he's doing, he's building one tower on top. We're going to skip over Candace for now because our question is asking us how long would it take Candace alone. So we don't know how fast Candace does it alone. But if we go to John plus Candace, it only takes them 2 hours to build the tower. And it's the same tower, so we're just going to count it as one tower. Now, if we said John plus Candace, it would equal John plus Candace. J plus C equals J plus C. But what we don't know is Candace's rate. But we're still building this same tower. So I'm still going to say one tower. And how long does it take Candace? Well, we don't know. So we're going to call that X hours. Now that I've set up my equation a little bit, just to make it easier for me to work, I'm going to pull out those units. I'll put them back in at the end. So I've got 1/5 plus 1 over X equals 1/2. So it takes Candace some amount of time. Now, if I'm looking at this equation, I know it's something I have to solve because I've got this equal sign right here. And I know it's not something I can cross multiply because I wouldn't know where do I cross here, do I cross here. Because there's more than just those two terms, there's 1, 2, 3 involved, I can't cross multiply. So we use our other method of solving, which is called killing the denominator. And that says if I have a common denominator between all three of these things, that I can cross it out and get rid of it. But before I can do that, all my denominators have to be common. So in my first fraction, 1/5, I'm missing an X, so I'm going to multiply in one of those on top and bottom. I'm also missing, from the other side of the equal sign, the 2, so I'm going to multiply that on top and bottom. In my second fraction right here, the 1 over X, I'm missing the 5, so I'm going to take and multiply by 5 on top and bottom. And I'm also missing the 2, so I'm going to multiply by 2 on top and bottom. Finally, it's important to remember, even the thing on the other side of the equal sign has to match the other. So I'm looking at this fraction, and it's missing the 5. I'm going to take my pencil and multiply by 5 on top and bottom. And then it's also missing the X. I'm going to multiply by X on top and bottom. Now that I've got all my denominators common, having a 2, an X, and a 5, now I know I can cancel out that denominator. Actually doing that multiplication on the top, 2 times X times 1 would give me 2X, plus 1 times 5 times 2 would give me 10, equals 1 times 5 times X would give me 5X. So to solve this, I need all of my X's to be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 2X from right here. And I would end up with 10 equals 3X. From there, I would divide both sides by 3. And I would get X equals 3.3 repeating, or 3 1/3. But I don't just leave it like this. I have to say, what is my unit? And if I look back here, I was talking about hours it would take Candace to build this tower, and it would take her approximately 3 1/3 hours to do so. And that is number 32 on your final exam review.